Hello, everybody out there in the mother loving world. Um, how y'all doing? I'm here. I wanted to discuss something that came to me. I was watching this show, and it is called Interior Chinatown. And pretty much the show is about this character that is he is a background character, but eventually becomes the main character of the story. And he goes through a lot in it. The cast is like pretty much all Asian, and it's giving the perspective of Asian American people. And I feel like it said a lot within that. But what I want to discuss about it and what I got from it is the whole thing of playing roles and playing a role that you think is your role in life. Because his whole thing was he was made to believe that he is supposed to play this certain role, be this background character, keep his head down, and always just do what he was told to do because that was expected of him. And the thing is, with a lot of us, most of us are playing a role. Most of us are out in the world. Most of us are doing what we think we are supposed to do for maybe someone else or for the limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves. And it's crazy because just watching it, I was just like, dang, like I feel like I can relate to that a lot. And I feel like a lot of people out there can relate to the idea of fitting into a role or fitting into what you believe you're supposed to be because you think maybe it's the ego, maybe it's you're telling yourself, I need to be this way because I have to help, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to be the person that changes things. And you're doing these things maybe because you feel like this is how it's supposed to be. And you're playing a background character in someone else's story when literally each of us is supposed to be the main character of our stories. But a lot of times it feels difficult to do that because we do have societal pressures and societal obligations to other people. And sometimes it feels difficult. It's like, how do I balance trying to be the main character of my story, but also trying to make sure that I am playing my part in someone else's story? And in my mind, I feel like you're not supposed to play your part in someone else's story. You're supposed to just be the part you're supposed to be in your own. You're supposed to be the main character. And not to be like, oh, like self-absorbed, self-obsessed, but more of like literally going for what you're supposed to go for because you know you want it. And just watching it again, watching Interior Chinatown was like, it was crazy, it was amazing, it had a lot of action, it was like the stories. And again, I don't know much about like Chinese culture or Asian culture in general, but it was a regular story, but it was just like a little glimpse because again, the only way to really know is if you actually are immersed in the culture. But it was just nice to see. It was like, okay, it was like this is a different perspective. And again, I feel like I can relate to that a lot, where it's like feeling like I'm a background character, feeling like I'm not noticed. And I know I can't be the only one out there that feels like maybe they're not noticed, or they feel like they're not living up to the potential that they feel that they can. And I think most of us can do that. We can achieve it if we choose to. Instead of going by the script, we have to rewrite the lines in our own stories and push ourselves to do more and to be better because we can. And we don't have to do as we are told because that's what we've been told to do. It's like, okay, you this is what it's always been, yes, but it doesn't have to be. It's like you you can kill the old version of yourself to create a new character in a new story. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Usually a lot of stuff be giving me inspiration, but I just wanted to share that with y'all out there in the world. And if you did make it this far, if you did, um put put like a yellow heart or something. Just so I know that you got this far. And well, since now I got a new phrase. Um whether I got nothing, something, or everything, I'm always worth it. And the same for you. Whether you got nothing, something, or everything, you are always worth it. So I hope everything's good for y'all out there. And please have a great holiday and enjoy yourselves. Also, I wanted to add too within this, when the main character ends up going outside of his role, he ends up changing things and things start ending up feeling weird for everybody else within the story. And once he changed his role in the story and rewrote his own history within the story, that changed the lives of the other people within his story as well. And it was almost like they all, he became the main character and they kind of became the background, but not really the background. They just were able to do more of what resonated more with them. And I feel like that's another, it's almost like another metaphor for life, where it's like once you start to change the way you do things, the people in your life, things can change. Sometimes people in your life are not ready for that change and there's a lot of resistance. But once the things in your life change, and once you are the person that decides to rewrite the script of what your life is supposed to be, then it affects everyone else. It's a ripple effect. And I find that to be very fascinating, because again, it's definitely like the butterfly effect type of situation. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because again, I know in the real world that might not always happen, but I know that just changing one thing makes a change overall. Just one thing in your life, you change that, that can change for the good or the bad. But either way, you're making a change. And if you're making steps to change your life in a good way, you will always get to the results that you want, and within the confines of what you need. So I just thought about that too. I feel like I need to add that in because I be forgetting sometimes. But again, bye y'all. And remember, whether you have nothing, something, or everything, you are worthy. Okay?